Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. This one is different. Hopefully, you like it. I've never done this one like this before. Now, the idea of this podcast, even, is just to give you short, actionable tidbits, motivational things, just things that you can use for bettering your business. In fact, that's why I created Lab Coat Agents 10 years ago. And that's why I still continue to push for our industry to grow because I believe in the real estate agent. And so I also built a brillianttribe.com, coaching, online marketing, marketing in general, just to help you with your business. Now, with that, this episode, I went to ChatGPT, I went to Perplexity, and I went to Gemini to find out a little bit more about the real estate agent, specifically the history of the real estate agent in the United States. And so I found a concise version and I want AI to read it to you. I'm using Perplexity because I kind of narrowed it down to a very short version of this. And it's not too long and it's good. And it's done with a British accent with AI. So let me know what you think of this one. Here we go. I'm going to press go and see how this goes.
Economic and societal changes.
Well, there you go. Obviously, have to start from the beginning because I was testing this out. Let's try this again. Here we go.
The history of real estate agents in the United States is a fascinating journey that reflects broader economic and societal changes over the past century and more. The concept of real estate transactions in the US dates back to the late 19th century. The first recorded home sales occurred around 1890, marking the beginning of organized real estate activities. However, during this time, the industry was largely unregulated, leading to a period often referred to as the Wild West of real estate. Anyone could act as a real estate broker without any formal licensing, which gave rise to unscrupulous practices by so-called curbstoners who would...
Unscrupulous. I love the way he said that. Unscrupulous. Curbstoners. I've never heard of that. Let's continue.
Place multiple signs on properties to attract sellers. The early 20th century saw significant efforts to professionalize the industry. In 1908, the National Association of Real Estate Exchanges was established, which later became the National Association of Realtors, NAR. This organization aimed to unite real estate professionals and establish standards for the industry. By 1919, licensing laws began to be enacted, starting in California, to curb the chaotic practices of the past and ensure that brokers were qualified and ethical. The 1910s introduced the concept of open houses, allowing potential buyers to view properties at their leisure.
Listen, 1910 open houses, that's when they first came out, and they're still going strong. That was a shock to me. I was like, what? In a good way, by the way. A shock in a good way. Let's continue.
This practice became a staple in real estate marketing, evolving over the decades to include staging and other modern techniques. The term realtor was coined in 1916 to denote members of the NAR who adhered to its code of ethics. The post-World War II era marked a significant boom in the real estate market. Returning soldiers and their families drove a surge in housing demand, facilitated by favorable mortgage conditions such as VA loans. This period also saw the entry of women into the real estate profession in significant numbers, changing the demographic makeup of the industry.
I mean, if you're not aware, women now dominate this industry. And we have, I think, 63% of all real estate agents are women at this point. So that was a big turnaround at that point. I didn't know this because I discovered this just a couple of days ago. Well, this whole history. Here we go.
From the 1990s onward, technology began to transform the real estate industry. The advent of the internet allowed for online listings, making property searches more accessible to the general public. Platforms like Realtor.com and Zillow revolutionized how properties were marketed and sold. In recent years, further advancements such as virtual tours, drones, and AI have continued to reshape the industry, making it more efficient and accessible. Today, the real estate profession is characterized by a diverse workforce and a high degree of competition.
Mm-hmm.
The role of a real estate agent has evolved to include not only traditional sales techniques, but also digital marketing and personalized client services. Despite the rapid changes brought about by technology, the fundamental role of real estate agents in facilitating property transactions remains crucial.
Mm.
Overall, the history of real estate agents in the US reflects a journey from unregulated beginnings to a highly professionalized and technologically advanced industry.
That was it. I thought, why not share that with you and educate you as to our history? I don't know that we talk about our history much. So I'm diving a little bit deeper into this. Let me know what you know, if you know anything that wasn't mentioned, that maybe even goes further back. I know I shared this with a few friends, and they talked about the Louisiana Purchase, that being probably the biggest purchase and earlier purchase. And that involved some contracts in the US. So I thought, yeah, interesting. This is a cool conversation. I hope you enjoyed it.